Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I got a lot to do today on this rainy day. But because I do have something that I want to say, and it's something that I feel like is important. But before I get to that, I wanted to just say thank you so much, Victoria, for sending some love my way. I love your last name, especially since I always see it in a particular genre of books that I read. I love that name. And also, too, thank you so much, Vindictive Tiger, also known as Kimberly. That was some love, girl. Thank you. I appreciate you. And Javier, I want to say thank you again to you. I know I said thank you yesterday, but I just wanted to say thanks again. Because I didn't send you the heart emoji, and I want you to know that I appreciate the gift that you sent me from your heart, from my heart to yours. There are people who get angry, when y'all send me financial love or y'all do anything for the curbside library and pantry. I don't know why people would get upset about someone buying books, but believe it or not, some people do, And again, I do know that it's projection. I do know it's people who do not feel supported, and people who are not, they know that they're not doing, the bare minimum for their community, and they come in the comments and they project that. I get it, But anyway, enough of that. But thank you all. Thank you all. I'm glad you're here. I'm still fairly new to YouTube, and so it's taking time, but I'm finding my people. But over here, you don't have the same control over here as you do over on TikTok. On TikTok, I love the fact that I can read all the comments before they go onto my platform. Over here, you can't. Problematic people can say whatever they want to say, and then you have to, read that comment, and then you have to block it. And if I can protect my viewers from that kind of hate and vitriol, I would prefer to do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, there's that. Over on TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok, or if you're on TikTok, you know what the conversation is that's going on. And it's something aside from Diddy being arrested, that is. There are these two podcasters, and their names are James and Fahouk. I hope I'm saying that the right way. I think one is biracial. He's black and Arabic, and then the other one is monoracial black. But anyway, they're these podcasters, and then they go on another podcaster show, and he's a white man. White man ends up telling some bunch of racist jokes about black women, and then these two black men kikied along with him, and now they're on an apology tour. And, and I'm the kind of person, keep your apology, because an apology is more than just saying the words, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? An apology means, it has to come from a place of real remorse. And that means, I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I understand the harm that I did to you. And please know that it will never happen again, and I will do the work to make sure that from this moment on, I'm honoring you, and I'm handling you better than what I did in that moment. That's what an apology is to me, and very few people are capable of that. So for me, you can keep your fucking apology. I don't want to hear it, especially them racist whites. Keep that shit. You're not mad that you're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught, and you really are. That's what it all comes down to in the end. But the reason why this conversation is important is because, listen, my activism work, for some reason, everybody thinks that activism started with the Black Lives Matter movement, and it did not. Activism work has been going on since transatlantic slavery. There's always been activists. My activism started in the early 90s, and it began with this case in Detroit, this young man by the name of Malice Green. And these two police officers, I'll never forget their names. They were Bussin and Nevers. They took, the big long mag lights that cops carry, back in the day. And they were the steel ones, those really heavy flashlights. They bashed this man's head in. And then this young prosecutor by the name of Kim Worthy, she made her mark prosecuting this case, and she made this audacious decision because they were going to let these two cops off. And they were some of the first cops to ever be prosecuted and imprisoned for uh, killing a black man. And it happened right in the city of Detroit. And so she made the audacious decision. He had this beautiful head of hair and he had this afro. And he was so proud of this afro. And his mom, during court, she talked about his afro. Well, she got the idea to shave the afro. And when they shaved the afro, you could see the extent of the damage done to this man's head by these two racist white officers. And my God, I'll never forget those pictures. For as long as I live, I will never, ever forget those images. And that was what launched me into it. Everyone who has done activism work has their starting point, the thing that got them going. And in doing activism work, so when I said in that video that my receipts are long and far, they go back that far. And back in those days, it would be so easy to get black people. I mean, you're always going to have black people that just don't give a fuck. Don't get me wrong. But it was easy to get black people motivated. And especially as, black people started paying attention to these crimes that were being committed against us, particularly black men, by police officers. And we learned that we were being, this was before cell phones, and you had to get the word out. So you really had to have boots to the ground, and you had to go and we would carpool up to Lansing. We would go to the NAACP meetings. Now the NAACP meetings, they were basically the starting point. That was where we all congregated, kind of. We decided what we needed to do, which lawmakers, if we were going to see Carl Levin, or who he was a lawmaker out of Michigan, and who we needed to see, and what kind of law we wanted to propose, get passed, bills, rights. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. And you needed a lot of highly intelligent folks, people a lot smarter than me, a lot of highly organized people. That's where I come in. I am highly organized. And you need loud, vocal people. And you need money. You need money. Believe it or not, you need lots of it. And I can remember on the front lines, I'm not saying that black men were not involved, but it was mostly black women that would be on the front line of all of that. It would be black women. It would be your sisters. And you'd be on the phone with them while y'all taking care of your kids and cooking dinner and talking about what meeting needed to take place, when, where, how. What amount of money needed to be raised. Who was going to make signs. Who was going to propose what. Who was going to do the talking when we were in the room. It was a lot. And it was always black women. You knew who to call. Now, fast forward a little bit when I came to South Carolina, and it was so much harder for me to make those connections here in South Carolina. Because, Detroit is its own thing. But I'm now in South Carolina now, and I'm having a hard time, making those connections with people. And I'm thinking it's just me. But then I also keep in touch with the people in Detroit, and they're saying, it's getting harder to get people activated and motivated. During Black Lives Matter, it was when it was at its height, but now it's hard. And I'm wondering, well, what's going on with us? Do we care less? And I don't think that's what it is, because I have very nuanced, very serious discussions with black women who at one point were very available, who all of a sudden aren't anymore. I say all that to say, black men, y'all need to gather these black men in. Just like how we tell racist white people. White people who say they are anti-racist, say that they are allies, go get your people together. Y'all got to get y'all people together. Y'all got to get these black men together, because the reason why that is that black women have become the most educated, demographic in America, who now have, and they're making decisions to not have children, not get married. They got a lot of free time and got a lot of money. They are deciding to take that money instead and live their best lives. And you can't be mad at them. And what that means is that they are protecting their peace and choosing their peace over activism, over advocating for black men like them. You know that saying, safe than sorry? We know it's not all of y'all. Of course we know it's not all of y'all. But you know that saying, it's better safe than sorry? You put boots to the ground. You do all that mobilizing just to read their tweets and their the bullshit that some man has said about black women all over, the internet. I hate black women this. Black women are bees that. Black women this. Black women that. And mind you, I am a strong advocate of love whoever you want to love. I don't care who you love. Love is love. But love shouldn't involve hate. If what you got to do is to hate black women in order to elevate whoever you have chosen to love, that is profoundly and deeply problematic. Me personally, I think you should see some help, because it's not black women that you're struggling with. Really, it's not. And black women, a lot of black women don't know that. It's you're struggling with. Because you are one of those black people who, remember I said there's two types of black people. Black people who really love being black, and black people don't really love being black. And when you don't love yourself, and when you hate being black, that presents itself in a multitude of different ways. I mean, you can't really go around saying, I hate myself. People view you as weird. But if you go around and if you say you hate the next closest thing, I hate black women, I know you're self-hating. I know that that's what it is. Because we all know you got black mamas and black sisters and black cousins and black women in your life that have brought you this far. You have used black women, abused black women, and still you're always able, because of the love black women have for me, and you're always able to exploit that. Despite how it is you feel about yourself. And of course you hate black women because you hate yourself. So I know it's more of a you problem than a me problem. That's why I don't get too out of my feelings when black men say some of those things that they say. Maybe my much younger self did, but not at this age, because I know it's a lot more. It's more about you. And in young black women, they'll figure that out one day too, that it ain't about them. It's about y'all. But black men, I'm trying to tell y'all, mentor these black men. Mentor your brothers, because I tell you, no matter how I may feel about any black man at any point in my life, at any time, no white man, Asian man, Latino man, no non-black man could ever be in a room with me, talk shit about black men and think that's going to fly with me. You can try to temperature check me if you want to, see what kind of Negro I am if you want to, and you will find out. Talk shit about a black man in front of me. That's never going to go. I'd have stopped that whole show. Because I'm really good at pinning you down. I'm not going to let it go. We're not going to move on. We're not tell a joke about a black man, a racist joke about a black man in front of my face. We're not going to move on. We're going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep digging at you. I'm going to keep doing fact after fact. I'm going to make you so uncomfortable till your nose bleed. Every time. And I'm great at that. Y'all might not believe that, but I am great at that. I used to want to be a lawyer when I was younger, but life happened. Y'all know a little bit of my story, but I will dig at you literally until you cry. I have made people cry. I'm going to confront you with your racism. It's never going to be allowed to slide with me. Not under a rope, through a keyhole, through a crack, nowhere. Over the side, up the middle, around the back. Nope. I'm going to stand right there, and I'm going to call your joke a racist, and I'm going to call you a racist. And a black man could have called me a bitch 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's just me. And I think that's a testimony to how I feel about being black. If black women stop showing up at the front lines for black men, y'all are in deep, serious trouble. Y'all are. Because at the end of the day, while some of y'all show up for y'all, not enough of y'all show up for y'all when the world start doing what it do to y'all. Someone over on TikTok asked another podcaster, he was a black guy, why it was that black men under 50, I think that was the question, are starting to vote conservatively. I remember about 6 years ago when Steve Bannon held that press conference and they said that they were going to start going after disgruntled black men. And I thought that's going to be a problem right there, because I was noticing so many young black men who actively hate themselves, hate being black. And I said, yep, I can see that. And I said, you know what? It's actually pretty smart. It's pretty smart. It's a pretty smart move. And fast forward a few years and here we are. What happened to Ice Cube? I remember when NWA made their inception, when they made their mark. I don't know what happened to NWA Ice Cube. He is lost. But it just goes to show how many self-hating black people will allow themselves to be used in order to have proximity to whiteness or to be able to benefit from white supremacy. And I'm going to tell you something. You have a blueprint of how that's going to work out. Look at the way white women have handled black women when it comes to women's issues. Why do you think black women ain't rocking with white women anymore? Because time and time and time again, they promised us to do better. Time and time and time again, they said it was about women. It was about all women. And time again, they left us hanging. If progress included white women, yeah, they were more than willing to access our numbers and use us in order to get their agenda met. But when the problem was not inclusive of white women, like say the high maternal death rate of black women, white women said, y'all on your own with that. And black women, we finally got a clue. I have to say we, because I'm a black woman, even though I've been peep game. Finally got a clue. Finally started taking them capes off and, throwing them in the trash or whatever you did with yours. I don't know what y'all did with mine. I don't know what y'all did with y'all's. I know what I did with mine. But whatever you did with it, black women, for the large part are no longer caping up. But white men are doing the same thing to black men, these black men that white women did to us. And they're going to use you for your vote, for your resources, for your money, to get their agendas met. Same way they did with those Asians with affirmative action. And then look what happened. Did they get in? Nope. Did more white people get in? Yup. They got their agenda met. And then as soon as they were through, they threw them Asians on. And did the Asians learn? Nope. They still begging for proximity. I don't know why y'all think that white supremacy is the answer, especially when people of color are the global majority. I don't know why y'all keep thinking that white supremacy is the answer. But they're going to do to you what they did to us. The blueprint is literally already set. You know what's going to happen. Literally, you know what's going to happen. They're going to use you to meet your agenda. And then once they get their agenda met, they're going to fill up those fancy prisons that they've been building on the secret low. And they're going to fill them up with you all. And you're going to be doing everything for free labor. Free. It's going to be slavery like it is now. It's just wider and broader. You're going to be doing everything from fighting wildfires to flipping burgers. They're going to get their agenda met. They're going to give, if Trump gets voted in, he's going to give the police officers full immunity to do whatever they need to do by y'all. And y'all gonna vote for that. Y'all are literally gonna vote for that. That's crazy as fuck, man. Y'all gonna vote for that. And then they're gonna say the first thing that they're gonna do, they're gonna take away those cameras so they can go back to putting y'all in prison on drug charges, falsifying drug charges, filling up those prisons, buying stock in those prisons. Your bodies are gonna make them richer, even more richer. It's gonna be black men first. And if you think it's gonna be white men, the white men that you vote for that are gonna save you, no. They're gonna be your demise. They're gonna be your demise, brothers. And if you think it's gonna be the non-black women that you align yourselves with, that's gonna get out on those streets and march for you and fight for you and crusade for you, no. They're gonna move on with their own men. And if black women won't show up for you, nobody will show up for you. And let me tell you another thing. Remember how, let's just say, as recent as five years ago, maybe a little longer than 5 years, but less than 10, more than 5. And remember when a black man got killed in the streets of America with impunity, and the way when Ben Crump or somebody like that, they would have these press conferences, and it would be so many people behind him, all these people that supported the person who was unjustly killed. All these people be behind the mother or the father or whatever. Think about those press conferences now, who you see behind Ben Crump or the mother, if you even see the mother anymore. And look at how few and far between those press conferences are. If you think I'm lying, think about it. If you think I'm lying. When was the last time people took to the street because a black man got killed with impunity here in America? Because you know who organizes those, right? It's black women. It's black women. If black women stop fighting for y'all, so while you sitting on couches kikiing and ha-haing with racist white men who are trashing the women from which you come from, and black women, as a result of that, decide to move on, protect their peace, their energy, their money, and their resources, and catch a flight instead, or go have brunch instead, or, buy that new car instead, or it is what it is. Y'all have a good day.